Wits University looked like a conflict zone today, with students clashing with riot police and security guards. The group is opposing a plan to hike fees next year. Let's take you straight to campus, and my colleague Jeremy Maggs is there. Jeremy, good evening to you and welcome. We saw unprecedented scenes of rock throwing and clashes outside Solomon Mahlangu House earlier. Things have taken a particularly hostile turn. What's the mood like now?
Iman, a very good evening to you from the Great Hall on the campus of Wits University here in Johannesburg. And it certainly has been a day of smoke, of stones, and also the crack of stun grenades, as a little earlier in the day, students and police and private security guards fought a pitched battle at a skirmish in the area that I'm standing in at the moment in front of the Great Hall. Right now there is still evidence of the runoff a little earlier today. I can see stones around me, and if you look behind me, I'll just move out of the shot very quickly. You'll see the windows of the front of the Great Hall, which were damaged in that stone throwing about 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock this afternoon. As I speak to you at the moment, the sun is setting over the western horizon. I have seen about 30 police vehicles that are gathered on that side, along with a presence from the South African Police Service. Right now, student leaders here at Wits University, members of the Student Representative Council, are meeting inside the Great Hall. I'm told that they are working out logistics for a sit-in during the course of the evening. The students behind me, who are busy singing at the moment, will join them, we are told, a little later this evening. But now I want to rewind, if I can, and give you a sense of the timeline today, how the drama on the campus of Wits University has unfolded. And our reporter, Thulasizwe Simelane, has been in the thick of it from the get-go. So Thulas, let's start off, if we can, with the march that started early this morning around 9 o'clock. You were there. What transpired at that point leading up to the arrest of around 31 students?
Jeremy, at that point, from the accounts that were given by officials, by Wits University, they're saying that a group of students, they estimated at about 30, that they were in front of the entrance, which is on Empire Road and Yale Road. And at that point, they're saying that some of the students were trying to block traffic, people going and coming from Wits University. 10 people were arrested at that particular point. My colleague Sikim Dingi was at that particular protest. From there, the students moved to 2 campuses. Wits University, of course, in terms of its layout, it's in 4 sections. It's the West Campus and East Campus on the main campus, then Education and Medical Sciences, which is just a few kilometers away from the main campus. Along the way, and as they made their way there were clashes with police. Police fired stun grenades, and a few of the students were arrested there. The number totaling about 31 by the time the students got to the 2 other campuses.
Later in the day, the locus of action moving to the Great Hall behind us, and also this precinct in front of us. As I mentioned a little earlier, you can still see debris, you can still see stones, you can still see broken windows. You were standing to my left at that point. Pick up the story for me.
Jeremy, the interesting thing about what happened here is that it was in sharp contrast with the way that the students had conducted themselves coming from the medical school and the education. They were very peaceful, very disciplined, stopping where the traffic lights were green, were red, and basically coordinating with police for the safe passage all the way to here. The problem started when they got to that at the top of the stairs behind us, because the students wanted to make their way into this building, which is connected to Senate House, which the students have now dubbed Solomon Mahlangu House. At that point, they were confronted with private security, Wits University, a small group, completely outnumbered. At that point, that's where the scuffle broke out, and we saw students retreat, coming down from the stairs, and from here breaking pieces of debris, stones that they then started hurling at the security guards, who were then hurling the stones right back at the students.
To the best of our knowledge, no one was injured, though.
The students, Nompendulo Mkhatshwa, who is part of the outgoing leadership, telling me 10 students were hurt, and then later on speaking to Busisiwe Siabe, who was telling me that she knows of 2 who are now in hospital. A few, journalists also caught in the crossfire.
Right, that was running counterpoint to what I was told a little earlier this afternoon. Having said that now, we have a situation where student leadership, and correct me if I'm wrong, are sitting inside. They are working logistics for a sit-in a little later on. These students are hoping to join them a little later. Is that how you're seeing it?
Absolutely, Jeremy. It looks like it's going to be a battle of wills between these students and Wits University. Professor Adam Habib, who is the Vice-Chancellor, is not in the country. He's in New York, where he was delivering a lecture, delivering a presentation on challenges of gender that are facing universities across the world. One gets the sense that he might have to come back very soon to come and face this situation. In his absence, Professor Tawana Kupe, acting as Vice-Chancellor, there was a meeting of the leadership of Wits University to try and see how they respond to what has transpired here.
You've also had an opportunity to talk to university authorities here about their response to the 8% fees cap announcement by the Minister of Higher Education, Blade Nzimande. What have people here told you?
Shirona Patel, the spokesperson of Wits University, telling me that basically the demand from the students, and she says they've been talking to them via the Dean of Students, throughout the day, and the demand from them is that they want free education. But according to the university, that is a demand that they are not able to meet. That is a demand that will require, inputs from various sectors of society, the state, private sector, and how, we work it out. But according to them, Wits University will be taking a decision on what is to be done in terms of the announcement made by Minister Blade Nzimande yesterday. But take a listen to what they are saying. They know that they need some kind of increase in income. Take a listen to Shirona Patel speaking to me earlier on.
Wits needs at least an increase of about 8% in income, not student fees, but in income for 2017 if we are to remain sustainable. By that we mean that we know that students are struggling, that their families are struggling, and that the current socio-economic conditions are very difficult. And so we are therefore saying, where can we get this money from? Could it come from the state? Could it come from the private sector? Could it come from additional third stream income? Should we be creating more short courses so that we can create more funds for the university?
All right, Tula Sizwe Simelane, thank you very much indeed. We'll hear from you a little bit later. We'll also take you live to the West Campus of Wits University a little later, where my colleague Nicolaus Bauer will bring you the latest from the security perspective. I understand that he has been scoping out what the South African Police Service are doing. Iman, very quickly before I return you to Hyde Park, in Pretoria on the Tshwane University of Technology campus, the Arcadia campus of that particular institution has been closed. In Port Elizabeth, just to wrap up the rest of the country, it is not only confined, the protest not only confined to Wits University, the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University, entrances have been blocked by students today. At Fort Hare University, university management announcing today a 0% increase, and at UCT, as we've been reporting earlier on the channel, the university suspending classes today and also tomorrow as well. Some reports that small groups had gathered at the campus entrance today, and also at the University of the Free State, the campus has been closed. I hope that's a fairly comprehensive wrap of the situation, certainly from Wits University here in Johannesburg, and you'll return to us a little later this evening.
Thank you very much for that, Jeremy. Of course, we'll also take the temperature down in KwaZulu-Natal and hear from a student representative from UKZN. We'll also give you an official perspective from the Universities of South Africa organisation. That's coming up later on Newsnight. Thank you very much to Jeremy Maggs and to Tula Sizwe Simelane.